10 most deadliest creatures of the Amazon jungle. Surprisingly, piranhas only rank 6th. The first place is every man's nightmare. The Amazon River is located in the northern part of South America. It has the largest flow in the world. The river, with the widest basin and the most tributaries, its basin area is as much as 6,700,000 square kilometers, an area surpassing twice the size of India. It is estimated that the Amazon River and its tributaries may have over 3,000 species of freshwater fish. This number is nearly 3 times the number of all freshwater fish species in North America. Moreover, the Amazon rainforest is home to 2.5 million insect species, tens of thousands of plant species, and over 2,000 bird species, and mammals habitat. However, these astonishing numbers are just the surface. The dangers lurking in the Amazon River. It's far more than this. Today, let's follow Wild Central to explore 10 most deadliest creatures of the Amazon jungle. Their terrifying nature far exceeds your imagination. The Amazon River Basin, a place surrounded by jungle and mystery, is home to a creature that terrifies people, the water giant beast, the giant river otter, also known as the South American giant otter. Don't be fooled by its resemblance to a large beaver. In reality, they are the freshwater kings at the top of the Amazon food chain. South American body, muscular development. The giant river otter has a strong body and well-developed muscles. When fully grown, it can exceed 1.8 meters in length. Its weight can reach up to 65 kilograms. Despite their cute appearance, they are actually impulsive and easily angered. They have a strong sense of territoriality and aggressiveness. They will attack any creature that enters their territory. They have over 30 sharp teeth. Their bite force is incredibly strong. They can pierce even the tough skin of crocodiles. Their claws are also very sharp. Their hard nails can easily tear open the skin of their prey. Therefore, many creatures are terrified of them. The reason giant river otters choose to live in the Amazon rainforest is because it's vast and sparsely populated. The underground water networks are intricate. For the giant river otters that love nesting, it is simply paradise. In their daily life, giant river otters generally feed on larger fish. They also hunt snakes or caimans. You should know that even large buffalo on land will flee when they see a crocodile. However, when the South American giant otter sees a crocodile, it's not only unafraid, but also constantly thinking about eating it. The key point is, the South American giant otter is incredibly smart. When faced with such large prey, they not only attack in groups, but also employ a war of attrition tactic. First, they continuously tease and harass the crocodile until it runs out of energy. Then they easily bite down on the crocodile's large tail. At this point, even if the larger crocodile is lucky, it can't escape losing an arm or a leg. This is why, in the South American region, there are so many crocodiles with bald tails. However, smaller crocodiles are much less fortunate. Usually, they get entirely devoured. However, the giant otter also has natural enemies. That is the jaguars. Jaguars are robust and fast. They are skilled at hiding. They often ambush solitary giant otters in the dark. But don't forget, the giant otter is no pushover. They live in groups and help each other. Sometimes they aim to completely defeat the jaguar. It is not impossible. The black caiman is like a crocodile on steroids. It rules the Amazon rainforest with an iron grip. This fierce creature can grow up to 5.2 meters long. It can weigh up to 450 kilograms. Forget the giant river otter. The black caiman is the true apex predator. Even the large jaguars and cougars tend to avoid its territory. The eyes of these black caimans are particularly suited for targeting prey in the dark, enhancing their hunting experience. Then there's the powerful bite force, strong enough to easily crush a turtle's shell. With such a notorious reputation, the black caiman is undoubtedly a symbol of terror in the Amazon River. Interestingly, aside from their enormous size, what is most awe-inspiring about black caimans is they lack the instinct for fear. In other words, they are simply fearless. In the Amazon River, they are like true kings. Any animal unfortunate enough to enter their sight could potentially become their prey. And this, of course, includes humans. According to statistics, in the past 20 years, the Amazon rainforest has seen more than 80 reports of black caiman attacks on humans, and most of them have been fatal. Survivors often escape with severe injuries, leaving behind a lifelong, unforgettable terror. Among them, the most famous incident was when they attacked a biologist. This biologist, in order to better observe the Amazon River's wildlife, built a boathouse not far above the water. However, during one outing, he was attacked by a black caiman. It is said that this caiman had been lying in ambush for this attack for about 8 months. Although eventually the biologist successfully escaped the jaws of the caiman, he still lost a leg. However, if you think this bravery and ferocity only exists in adult black caimans, then you are wrong. Black caimans from a young age already know how to turn red-bellied piranhas, these fiercest river fish, into mincemeat. Most of the black caiman's prey, before being caught, don't even realize they exist. They usually hide under the cover of night, quietly approaching unsuspecting prey, and then suddenly bite them. In the biodiverse Amazon basin, the black caiman is undoubtedly a shining star. Their presence is not just a member of the ecosystem, but also seen as a symbol of terror in the Amazon River. Centipedes are also known as centipedes. Together with venomous snakes, scorpions, geckos, and toads, they are called the 5 poisonous creatures. The centipedes we commonly see in everyday life are usually quite small. Even if we occasionally encounter a larger one, it is only about as long as a finger. However, today we are introducing the Amazonian giant centipede, which is one of the largest species of centipede in the world. Its average length can reach an astonishing 30 centimeters. Although it resides in the Amazon rainforest, a place full of gigantic creatures, such a size may seem insignificant. Amazingly, the giant centipede can still dominate its area. The reason the giant centipede holds such status in the world is inseparable from its potent venom. You should know that it can paralyze its prey with just one attack. Like many spiders, centipedes like to lurk in caves. However, coincidentally, their favorite prey, bats, also like to dwell in caves. As a trained stealth hunter, the Amazonian giant centipede climbs the walls of caves and attacks these bats from the ceiling. Their first pair of legs have evolved into claw-like venomous pincers that can easily deliver a deadly blow to their prey. Therefore, many times, the Amazonian giant centipede doesn't even need to fight to easily capture them. Such centipedes, like ordinary centipedes, will quickly release toxins after biting a person or animal. If a human is accidentally bitten, the bitten area may swell, causing redness and burning pain, and may develop lymphangitis, similar to the symptoms of a venomous snake bite. The whole body may show chills, fever, headache, and nausea. Symptoms may include vomiting, increased pulse rate, and convulsions. In severe cases, it can even lead to death. In addition to being home to various giant reptiles and fierce fish species in the Amazon River basin, it also hosts spine-showing creature, the giant Amazon leech. This vampire is 7 centimeters long and has enormous teeth. Its body structure is very unique, consisting of 34 segments. Each segment has its own brain, which means each giant leech has 34 brains. Just thinking about it is terrifying. The strong sucker of the giant leech is located at the thicker end. The head is at the narrower, pointed end. When the giant leech feeds, its muscles move in a wave-like motion. This may help in transporting the absorbed blood to the digestive system located in the head. Giant leeches typically have 2 to 3 rows of small teeth to suck the blood of their prey, and throughout their evolution, these creatures have perfected their ambush techniques. They will prey on any suitable target that passes by. Once a giant leech detects a moving object, it will use one of its suckers to swim toward the target. When attaching to a host, they create a wide-shaped hole with their mouth, then inject an anticoagulant into the incision. Once you get a giant Amazon leech on you, it's really hard to remove it. In the Amazon basin, there have been multiple incidents of giant Amazon leech killings. Of course, not to mention these terrifying traits, the giant Amazon leech actually has quite high nutritional value. Its amino acid content is as high as 62%. It is 7 times the muscle protein content of 23.3, especially glutamic acid and aspartic acid. the content of lysine and leucine is relatively high. These components have significant roles in health maintenance. All play quite important roles. The red-bellied piranha is in the Amazon River, a famously fierce species of fish, although they are reputed to be the fiercest freshwater fish. But their size is generally only about 25 centimeters in length. The longest they grow is no more than 30 centimeters. Their teeth are sharp, and their appetite seems to never be satisfied. The most frightening thing is, they often appear in groups, usually hundreds, even thousands gathered together. Once they start hunting, the scene will be terrifying. They are like aquatic army ants. Any living creature that encounters the red-bellied piranhas will completely disappear from the world in an instant. It is said that in the Amazon River basin, if herdsmen are grazing their cattle and encounter a river with piranhas, they usually drive a sickly cow into the river first to distract the piranhas with a diversionary tactic. Then they drive the cattle quickly across the river, and the old cow as a sacrifice, in less than 10 minutes, will be torn apart by the ferocious group of red-bellied piranhas until only a skeleton remains. The local indigenous people even utilize their ferocity by raising piranhas in a moat to fend off attacks from wild beasts, and they worship them as gods. Before conducting in-depth research, it was commonly believed that these red-bellied piranhas gathered together solely for hunting. That was truly a misunderstanding of them. These fish do not live solely on meat. Red-bellied piranhas actually feed on a variety of food sources. Their diet typically includes insects, fish, snails, worms, seeds, delirious plants. They only feed when large mammals and birds have died and are thrown into the water. The reason why red-bellied piranhas prefer to act in groups is because animals like caimans, river dolphins, turtles, and other large fish are extremely fond of eating piranha juveniles. Living in groups allows the most vulnerable members to be protected in the center of the group to ensure the greatest chance of survival. The payara, also known as the vampire fish, is a ferocious fish living in South America, within the Amazon basin. Although they do not suck blood of their prey, when you see its 15-centimeter fangs protruding from the lower jaw, this is destined to be a face only their mother could love, a face that only a mother would love. These two fangs primarily serve to pierce prey. These large vampire fish can even easily pierce a human hand. For these fish, their body lengths can reach over 1 meter. Their weight can exceed 30 jin, approximately 15 kilograms. Their silvery sides are designed for power and speed. The fan-shaped tail fin helps them swim through the rapids of the Amazon River. In some streams or at the base of dams, waterfalls, and rapids, you are likely to spot them. The payara is known for its high aggression and savage nature. They are the only fish that dare to chase and swallow piranhas in the Amazon River, not at all afraid of being attacked by a group of piranhas. For some payara, piranhas are even considered their staple food. However, since piranhas like to attack in groups, and payaras typically act alone, for humans, their danger level may be slightly lower than that of piranhas. The electric eel is known as the high-voltage line of the water. They mainly live in the Amazon basin. They are nocturnal animals, but due to their extremely poor vision, electric eels emit weak electric signals that functions like radar, helping them navigate towards mates and food. Once they detect prey, electric eels release a stronger electric shock to stun the prey. If encountered a group of electric eels hunting together, for fish, it's completely disastrous because the voltage output from a single adult electric eel can reach up to 800 volts. Imagine when dozens of electric eels discharge simultaneously. The voltage and current in that river area become immense. It can even make the water surface boil instantly, causing fish to quickly lose their ability to escape and ultimately be easily preyed upon by the group of electric eels. At this point, someone might wonder, won't the electric eel itself be shocked? The answer is no, because the electric eel's discharge organs are on both sides of its body, and most of its body and vital organs are enclosed in highly insulating structures, making it a complete conductor insulator. This discharge ability of the electric eel It even inspired Italian physicist Alessandro Volta to design the world's first synthetic battery in 1799. The seemingly invincible electric eel currently has its greatest enemy in humans. Those who capture electric eels know that although they have strong electrical discharge capabilities, they cannot discharge electricity indefinitely. They need a period of rest to recover. So fishermen will drive cattle or horses into the river first to provoke the electric eels into discharging electricity. When the electric eels are exhausted after discharging, they can be easily caught by people. Because this method has been repeatedly successful, this has also led to the electric eel becoming a famous edible fish in its native habitat. The Amazonian giant viper is one of the largest and most venomous snakes on the American continent. It is one of the largest and most venomous snakes. The longest Amazonian giant viper discovered so far reaches a length of 3.7 meters. Their appearance is very distinctive. Most are brown, yellow, or pink. Their back is covered with dark brown or black diamond-shaped patterns. The most notable feature is the black stripe between their eyes and jaw. There is a black stripe. When hunting, they use their forked tongue to collect air, scents from leaves and soil. The collected scents are transmitted to the Jacobson's organ in the head for analysis. They search for the scent of prey among these scents. As soon as there is any scent of prey, they maintain this position, possibly for several days, even up to several weeks. The Amazonian giant viper is also known as the silent rattlesnake. When faced with danger, they also wag their tails like rattlesnakes. However, they cannot produce a rattling sound like rattlesnakes. Instead, they continuously use their tails to hit the leaves on the ground. The Amazonian giant viper is also phototactic. Sometimes when travelers or indigenous people light a bonfire, if a giant viper happens to be hunting nearby, they will crawl towards the firelight. So if you encounter a giant viper crawling over at night, it's best to extinguish the bonfire immediately. Otherwise, they'll follow you right away. You should know that they are not afraid of humans at all. Their fangs can reach a length of 3.5 centimeters, and their venom is especially potent. A bite from them can be fatal within minutes. Because very few people encounter this highly venomous snake in the wild, an anti-venom aimed at their venom has not been developed, which undoubtedly increases their fatality rate. Their venom output is also relatively large, with a single dose reaching over 400 milligrams. The venom of the Amazonian giant viper can lead to widespread necrosis of body tissues, causing severe damage to entire limbs. The venom also causes internal bleeding in body organs, eventually leading to shock. There was once a report documenting several cases of patients who died from bites by the Amazonian giant viper. Among them, the shortest survival time was only about 45 minutes. Moreover, not a single victim survived. Before unveiling the last two names on today's list, let's first take a look at today's cover moment. For many years, the Amazon basin has been circulating tales of giant eels lurking in the murky depths. But now it seems that finally a monster has fallen into the hands of a lucky fisherman. This fierce creature appears to be at least 30 meters long, extremely frightening. Do you think it might hide some magical story within it, or is it merely a fake composite image created by internet users? Feel free to discuss with us in the comments section. In legends, the sawfish is a type of giant marine creature with a saw-like head. They can split fish groups or sea vessels in half and dude. Of course, there is some spaldy involved. Of course, it contains some elements of HSP. However, the time the sawfish has survived in the ocean truly surpasses ordinary imagination. Its history can be traced back to the Cretaceous period, over 56 million years ago. In such a cataclysmic event, the sawfish still managed to survive. It was once widely distributed in tropical and subtropical shallow waters, as well as along the 340-kilometer stretch of the Amazon basin and in Lake Nicaragua's freshwater. This ancient marine creature usually measures between 5.4 to 7.6 meters in length. The largest sawfish can even reach up to 9 meters. It weighs over 500 kilograms. Its defining characteristic is the long snout filled with sharp triangular teeth. These teeth are as sharp as an actual saw. The longest can reach up to 2 meters, with a width exceeding 30 centimeters. They are accustomed to being nocturnal. They rest at the bottom of the water during the day. They only come out to hunt at night. Don't be fooled by the sawfish in the aquarium. They often lie motionless in the sand at the bottom. In fact, their movement and attack speed are very fast. When hunting, the sawfish will rapidly charge into a school of fish. It swings its weapon from side to side, stunning or cutting fish of crustaceans. Then it eats them. Besides being used to attack prey, the saw of the sawfish is also covered with organs that can sense weak electric signals. It can detect the electromagnetic fields of hidden creatures. It can also use it during the breeding season to locate other female sawfish. Unfortunately, the sawfish is now facing a severe threat to survival because almost every part of their bodies is useful to humans. Its fish meat is delicious. The fins can be made into shark fin soup. The fish skin can be used to make leather and knife sheaths. The liver can be used to extract fish oil. Even that long saw can become an expensive piece of art. Currently, all species of sawfish have completely disappeared from Europe. The number of sawfish in the United States has decreased by 99%. Only in some waters in Florida do sawfish still survive. Out of the 90 countries where sawfish were once found, in 55 of them, they have become locally extinct. So although sawfish are depicted as fierce sea monsters, in reality, for humans with modern technological means, it doesn't seem that frightening. Instead, due to its rare appearance, it has unexpectedly become a top luxury item for wealthy individuals. Here I urge the audience, our understanding of the sawfish should be based on respect and protection, not fear and overfishing. I hope humans can coexist with this ancient marine creature in harmony and together safeguard every life on Earth. This small fish before us is the Amazon basin's most notorious blood-sucking demon. It even makes Amazon people more fearful of sea than seeing a piranha. It has a rather unremarkable name, which is the candiru. These little guys appear quite ordinary in appearance, with a small stature and a semi-transparent body, make them look very much like the small fish snacks we eat every day. However, these little guys, in terms of biological classification, are classified as part of the Pomelodidae family within the order Siluriformes, which means these little guys are relatives of those big catfish in the river, but due to their unique behavior, they have become an oddity within the Siluriformes, a parasitic catfish. If you look closely, you'll find the gills of the candiru are covered with tiny barbs. When large fish pass by, they quickly approach. As the big fish open their gills to breathe, they swiftly drill into the gills. It uses the spines on its body to anchor itself under the fish's gill covers and begins to suck blood. This unique method of blood sucking makes the candiru the only fish on Earth that feeds on blood. Therefore, it is called the vampire demon. Legends about the candiru are widely spread in the Amazon region. The most famous of these is that it will burrow into a male's genitalia to suck blood. It is said in legends that if people urinate in the river, the candiru will swim up the urine stream and burrow into your body, causing you unbearable pain. In fact, around the year 1836, scientists and botanists from around the world flocked to the Amazon rainforest for exploration and observation. It was discovered that some local men had certain organs removed. As for the reason these men had this procedure, it was because the vampire of the water, the candiru, had entered their urethra. Although the story of the candiru sounds terrifying, fortunately, this small fish only lives in the Amazon basin, so in Asia and other regions, the likelihood of encountering a candiru is very low. With the passage of time, the candiru has gradually been isolated from human living areas. However, in some remote, primitive jungle areas, the legends about this water-dwelling vampire still persist. Well, that concludes all the content of this episode's video. I'm not sure if the 10 types of Amazonian most dangerous creatures are introduced today. Which one impressed you the most? Feel free to tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.